A Parable by Arthur Conan Doyle, 1859 to 1930. The cheese mites asked how the cheese got there, and warmly debated the matter. The Orthodox said that it came from the air, and the Heretics said from the platter. They argued it long, and they argued it strong, and I hear they are arguing now. But of all the choice spirits who lived in the cheese, not one of them thought of a cow. Okay, this is a short poem by Arthur Conan Doyle. Let's see, Conan Doyle is most famous for Sherlock Holmes, the inventor of Sherlock Holmes. He was born in Edinburgh. His parents were of Irish Catholic extraction. Let's see, he studied medicine and he became a qualified doctor. So, what's this about? Well, I really like this poem. I think it's very funny. It's talking about religion. It's talking about dogma. It's talking about religious arguments, or the accepting traditional beliefs, or the different religious groups arguing about things, and not considering an easy or a very different solution. And the cheese mites, well, these cheese mites are humans, and we've got some of the cheese mites they're arguing about where the cheese came from. So we've got cheese, and the cheese is made up of cheese mites, and they're arguing how it got there. Where did we all come from? And the Orthodox ones say it came from the air, and the Heretics say it came from the plate. And they're arguing and arguing about this. And I think this is perhaps the Catholics and the Protestants, or the different religions, arguing these theological debates about things, and each of them are producing their own ridiculous ideas, and they're demanding that the people of their group follow this. And it's talking about the absurdity of religious divisions, and it's saying that these people have been arguing forever about this, but none of them can actually see that there might be a completely different solution, that maybe the cheese came from a cow. None of them could consider that, but that's probably because none of them even know what a cow is. And this, it's talking about religious debate, and the fact that perhaps there is so much missing from these religious debates that it makes them completely absurd. There is such a lack of understanding, and I think this is the idea. Now notice that Conan Doyle, he was brought up as a Catholic, but he then became an agnostic, somebody who says you can't prove whether God exists or not. I have no idea if God exists or not, and I'm not going to follow a religion. And that's the idea of an agnostic. He studied with Jesuits for most of his young life. So the cheese mites asked how the cheese got there. So people are asking, where did the universe come from? This traditional argument, where did it all come from? They warmly debated the matter, so then everybody's, or each of the religions, is putting in its own idea. The Orthodox said that it came from the air. So the traditional view is that the cheese suddenly appeared from the air. And the Heretics said from the platter. So the original idea was that it came from the air. But then other people said, no, it came from the platter. So To me, I see here the Orthodox, the Catholics, and the Heretics, the Protestants. But they're arguing about where it all came from. But neither of these, from the air or from the plate, it's ridiculous. They argued it long and they argued it strong, and I hear they are arguing now. So they argued for ages and ages, and they got very upset about it, and they're still arguing about it. But it's ridiculous because neither of them are going to come to a solution, and they're dogmatically telling their followers, you must believe this. This is the thing that you could believe, that this is the only system that makes it work. But of all the choice spirits who lived in the cheese, not one of them thought of a cow. And of all of these intelligent people who lived in the cheese, all of these religious people, none of them thought that the cheese could have come from a cow, that it could have come from somewhere completely different. And this is saying that they're arguing in vain. This is a satire about religious dogma, and the fact that you've got to accept traditional beliefs, even if you accept the traditional Orthodox belief or the traditional heretic belief. And really, this is a pointless argument because neither of them are right. So, a parable by Arthur Conan Doyle.